What's the worst designed part of the human body? The sciatic nerve routing. Going through the piriformis muscle was a bad idea. Just for your information, actually passing through the muscle is an anatomical variant. For the majority of people, the nerve just travels alongside the muscle. Still, that variant is a pain in the butt. Teeth. One set while we're a child. One set for 60, 70 years. Meanwhile sharks, the lucky bastards, just keep growing new teeth. We used to call my brother Shark Boy growing up. That dude had layers of teeth. He had one tooth that grew in the roof of his mouth. He also had teeth growing sideways in his gums which talk with his other teeth. It took 2.5 years to get him prepped for orthodontic, and then he was in braces for another 5 years after that. Worth it though. He looks like a Colgate commercial now. Ugh. I was basically your brother. My one incisor erupted in the back of my palate. Turning that screw a little bit once every 3 days for years. What a bloody nightmare. And braces. Holy cow. That hurt. Same. But mine never erupted. Both incisors. Top palate pointing sideways toward one another. They had to take out the baby teeth. I was 17. Because obviously the incisors weren't going to, and then they cut the palate away and attached braces to the row teeth. And 5 years later. Worst part was they mugged me for my wisdom teeth at the same time. I was Peter Pumpkinhead for a week. The ear. Eyes have eyelids. You can close your mouth. But if there's an extremely loud noise, your eardrum has to just take it and be irreversibly ruined. Well, technically there is a muscle that can tighten your ear to prevent damage from extreme noise. It's the same reason you don't hear yourself chew. Some new cars will make a sound to trigger this muscle to prevent hearing loss from the noise of an accident. Who doesn't hear themselves chew? They mean it's much quieter. There's a condition called superior canal dehiscence syndrome where you hear your own blinking, chewing, and heartbeat all the time, but it's unrelated to this muscle. I imagine that without the muscle, it would sound just like that. You sir, are weirdly knowledgeable. The testicles, the ovaries, and the human spine. This chopped box is a doozy. You have 45 minutes to complete the dessert round. Good luck. The elbow. Why the duck is there a nerve that's so exposed? When you hit it at just the right spot it sends a jolt down your arm. There's another nerve in the armpit that is protected when the arm is down. If you are attacked and can get a good hit in there, the arm will be almost paralyzed for a while. And it hurts like a hit to the cajones. It's not just one nerve. You're talking about the brachial plexus. It's a bundle of nerves that come from your spine and innervates all the muscles in your arm. That's why stingers hurt so much. It's taking out every nerve. It's also a good site for nerve blocks when you have upper limb surgery because you can disable the arm and reduce post-operative pain by applying anesthesia around the nerve roots. Also, in the case of brachial plexus avulsions, you lose all function permanently. And, on that note, nerve injuries are ducking shit. We should be able to regenerate them more easily and quickly. Honestly, our appendixes try to kill us too often. Something ain't right with it. When I was younger I read it was a vestigial organ with not much purpose. Nowadays I hear it contains bacteria and microorganisms necessary for a healthy life. I'm 25. Science is interesting. There is, or was, a theory that it is a vestigial organ from when the ancestor, or to humans, was like a big rat. It contained bacteria that aided in the digestion of cellulose. Maybe it is or was both. Arsene Seasmetal. When I had mine removed I remember my doctor telling me it was for digesting bones and eventually we would evolve out of having one. But I've literally done zero research since this was told to me. I don't have one anymore, so duck do I care what they're for, right? Lower back. The whole spine for a fact. It's not really designed for upright walking. I hate my spine. It's really holding me back. I read that in an Irish accent. I think. I read that in a pirate accent. Knees are a good idea, but needed a bit more before being rolled out. I feel your pain. I feel our pain. I feel pain. Would prefer it if my testicles had better armor. Sperm needs to be cooler than your body temp. So nature was like, I'm not redoing sperm, just hang them on bag between his legs. and put nerves there so he knows this shit is valuable, and make him feel pain in all his organs and dizziness when he doesn't protect it right. Also, while we're at it, let's make it to where the skin and the actual testicles can come apart and painfully move independently. Testicular torsion. Achilles tendon. Single point of vulnerability that has no bone sheath and will absolutely cripple you if it's stuck with. Having sharpened rocks that slowly push their way through the sensitive gums of tiny humans who are too small to understand or explain the reason for their incessant crying. Bonus bad points for these tiny humans being designed to get 100% of their nutrition while latching their new razor teeth around the nipples of another human. And then you only get one more set of them to last most of your life, as others have mentioned. Like, yeah. From an evolutionary standpoint, it's not really necessary to have teeth that last you. Today I learned the age of more than 30, 40, since you don't need to live longer to reproduce and further the species, but damn it, give us more teeth. Edit. I'm also aware that it has to do with our modern diets, but don't lie, it would be really nice if we had baby teeth, a first set of adult teeth, and then a second one after a couple of decades. Of course, we could just take better care of our teeth and eat healthier, but humankind has a bit of a reputation for screwing ourselves up sometimes. Why would a third set if teeth be bad? Right. I think this should be the focus of dendritic DNA adjustment in the coming century. Milk teeth, meat teeth, then metamucil teeth. Win. At what age range would the third set come in? I'm voting mid-late 20s. About the time you realize you need to get your shit together because you're not going to die young like you'd planned. Bowels. I should be able to decide when to empty them completely in one go and not little bit now and more later. Edit. All this fiber talk. I get it. I now understand more about the importance of fiber, but that kinda adds to what I'm saying. Imagine not needing a summoning ritual, like deciding when you do and don't drop the kids off at the pool. A human eject button. I get some mad anxiety, nervous shits. Got a job interview coming up. Sudden diarrhea, enjoy the toilet for an hour. I wish pooping wasn't linked to my physiological fear response. Yes, I've just recently started getting this. Never used to happen. But before I visit a customer or have a job interview, I get the scardy poops. That's what I call them. Ass hair. Fun fact. If you shave it all off, you can't fart quietly anymore because your cheeks form a skin to skin seal. Oh, no worries. I usually put a straw in between. Astrology. A bony ass. It actually hurts to sit still. Ugh. Memories of long school assemblies sitting cross-legged on a hardwood floor. It took me decades to realize that other kids around me weren't in the same excruciating pain that I was in every day. Ankles and knees. A woman can produce a whole new baby in 9 months, but you twisted your ankle a little. Well, you'll pay for it for the next 50 years. The male urethra. I don't know who the duck thought it was a good idea to wrap the prostate around the urethra like a donut and then have it grow so you can't pee when you get older. But someone ducked up quality control with that one. I scrolled all the way for this one. Urethra running through the center of the prostate. Terrible city planning. But for those who don't know, the prostate is the switch that controls the routing between urine and semen into the urethra. Its function pretty much requires it to be positioned where it is. Gall bladder. Last night I choked on a cake and then later some of it came out blowing my nose. Teeth. The fact that they're the only part of your body that doesn't grow back or heal itself is bullshit. Also, if anyone has ever had a tooth chip and the nerve exposed, knows that is pain unlike anything you would think possible. Edit. I'm aware other parts of the body don't grow back, such as fingers, but these parts of the body can heal themselves, doesn't grow back or heal itself, so an injury generally does not cause pain indefinitely. A chipped tooth or a cavity will never stop hurting on its own. I'm a guy, but I would still say the uterus. The fact that it has to rip itself apart every month, causing great discomfort to women just to remain fertile, seems like a pretty bad design flaw. Ovaries, uterus. Why do they punish women with excruciating pain every month for not getting pregnant? Seriously, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure other animals just naturally reabsorb the uteral lining instead of, shoving it all out and causing a ton of pain. It just seems like such a terrible survival trait to have a period. Debilitating pain once a month. Constant bleeding that leaves the scent of a vulnerable animal absolutely everywhere. And hormonal changes that can cause aggression or anxiety. It really seems terrible evolution. WTF. Almost every other mammal operates off an estrous cycle, which is a super sensible way of doing it from a biological standpoint. Ovulation occurs seasonally, so births occur when environment is nice and food is plentiful. Sometimes ovulation occurs from the act of coitus itself. Anovulation happens when times are bad. If ovulation doesn't result in implantation, that thickened uterine lining is just slower reabsorbed and recycled. Menstrual cycles are ducking stupid and only found in some primates, elephant shrews, the spiny mouse, and a few species of bat. It's a weird group to be in. Imagine how different human society would be if female orgasm were necessary for conception. All of the evolutionary pressures driving sexuality would be different. At first you think it would lead to more female orgasms, until you realize the best form of birth control would be to edge all the damn time. The balls. Why not make it possible for sperm to survive at body temperature so one's delicate testicles could rest comfortably inside the body and not dangle precariously waiting to get smashed? How then would one have their balls gobbled? The air intake and fuel intake are the same system. That kind of oversight really chokes me up. That's actually a feature, not a glitch. If food gets stuck, you're able to create air pressure behind it and cough it out. Also, the lungs are necessary for talking. The tongue is needed for both talking and eating. Talking is one of our best evolutionary traits. Pretty cool system the more I think about. Sure. But it's not necessary for the interface between airway and esophagus to be in a spot that can result in blockage. Move it up above the back of the mouth and you would only risk blocking your airway when eating upside down. Also, other species can make sounds complex enough for communication where these two are completely separate. The stomach digestive system. You're telling me I gotta eat 2-3 times a day, not just to survive, but to feel normal, not like complete shit and lethargic all the time. Duckin' bullshit if you ask me. Just wanna photosynthesize. Plants have it easy, man. If you didn't feel like shit when you didn't eat, you'd forget and eventually starve to death. I'd say the hip area of women in terms of giving birth. I mean, we have to be born prematurely because a woman couldn't get a completely developed and ready baby out of her, and even that's extremely painful. Eyes, them bitches don't last long and vision deteriorates pretty fast for some people. I've been wearing glasses since I was like 6, so I'm pretty blind now without any visual aid. As a pregnant woman, female reproductive system. 9 months of aches and pains, then unnecessarily difficult and painful birth. Compared to any other living thing, it's this where the human body completely lacks. Not only that with regards to pregnancy, but a period. Oh, how I wish I could simply get a bodily notification that it's time to just open up the cervix and eliminate that month's endometrium all at once. To draw it out over days and days is just cruel design. And why does it have to be every month? For many mammals, once a year is enough. I could deal with that. That off switch near our elbow. Smack it and it hurts like heck. There's no call for that. Toes. So easily stubbed. The telomere caps on our genes. If those bitches would stop falling apart every time a cell divided, we would basically stop the aging process at peak physical maturity. Also, our knees are way too shitty and fragile, lol. Edit, I'm not a biologist or anything, so sorry about the bad incomplete info, your lol. Edit 2. Also, no, I don't want people to have cancer. I just want people to not be dead if they don't wanna be. Whose bright idea was it to put the clitoris outside the vagina? Probably mouth. Considering how so many people have messed up teeth as adults if they didn't wear braces as kids. And then out of empathy for men, I would say penises as well. It's sad how that body part varies so drastically in size between individuals. It varies more than any other body part. You don't see one guy with 1-inch hands and another with 9-inch hands.